Some people want to throw out origins entirely, which I think is bizarre. It's wrong. And they'll say, well, that's called the genetic fallacy. It's a logical fallacy. Ad hominem is when you just attack someone when you don't want to actually deal with an argument. And they do this, and they put a little girl on screen with a dressed as a butterfly. Look at her. Is that demonic? Oh, come on, guys. Is that satanic? That's an appeal to emotion, to shut off your brain from thinking things through. Let's do all the same practices, and let's try and Christianize it. All right, well, we're going to take a look at Halloween today. You know, something I did not do before all of this, when I talked about the pagan roots, is I did not define pagan. You might think, well, I know what pagan means. Some people, pagan can be defined in different ways, and sometimes people use it just to say non-followers of Christ. You can use it that way. It's used in different ways. So when I say pagan and paganism, what we're talking about are the demonic roots, the druidic roots, the druids, the religious leaders of the Celts who were heaped in demonic paganism. And so that you can't deny the demonic origins of Halloween. And so, you know, before we get to Halloween today, we're going to take a look at, well, all right, I understand that. What about Christmas? What about Easter? Don't they have pagan origins? Well, yes, they do. I should be talking directly to you without that. Yeah, they do. If you're not aware, sorry, but Christmas has pagan origins. Easter has pagan origins. Actually, Easter is a pagan name. It's a god of Ishtar, a goddess of Ishtar, a fertility god. These are all of pagan origin. There's a celebration of seasons. There's really the Christian holidays that we celebrate, like Christmas, or what I refer to call Resurrection Sunday, or Easter, if you want to call it by the pagan name. Those holidays are of pagan origin. And so the question will naturally be, well, can Halloween be redeemed? Like we might believe that Christmas has been redeemed, or Resurrection Sunday has been redeemed. And that's a fair question. Maybe I'll hold off on answering that, because what we need to get to is, well, how is Halloween viewed today? And I'm holding off on moving forward because I have a few things I want to say. One thing, when we talk about origins, and we get to before we even get to what it looks like today, some people want to throw out origins entirely, which I think is bizarre. It's wrong to want to throw out origins entirely, as if origins mean nothing. And they'll say, well, that's called the genetic fallacy. It's a logical fallacy, or the fallacy of origins. Well, that's true. It's listed as a logical fallacy. There are a lot of logical fallacies that are on the list. In fact, I've seen some rather interesting attempts to justify the celebration of Halloween, and I don't mean a discussion about Christians' participation in Halloween, whether they should, whether they shouldn't. I just mean a complete, you should just celebrate this completely. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Because of its demonic roots, it doesn't mean anything. That's what I mean. And what's used there is the ad hominem fallacy. Ad hominem is when you just attack someone when you don't want to actually deal with an argument. And so instead of dealing with argumentation, working through logical reasoning, if someone's in the room with you, you would just attack them personally. But since this was on a video that I saw this, it was like, you know, anyone that's against the celebration of Halloween, Christians celebrating Halloween, they've got some kind of secret sin in their life. They've got a big plank in their eye. That's what it is. If they're against Christians celebrating Halloween. That's just what was stated. So any biblical teaching that's trying to help people consider whether Halloween should be in their life in any way, his response is that there must be something that they're hiding, as like that would be called a logical fallacy. That's called ad hominem. When you can't deal with the argument, you attack. All right? What's another logical fallacy? We have the fallacy of, well, you have emotional appeal. All right, emotional appeal. They put a little boy on the screen dressed as a baseball player, and they say, oh, look at this picture. Is that demonic? Look at this cute little boy dressed as a baseball player. Is that satanic? Come on. And they do this, and they put a little girl on screen with a dressed as a butterfly. Look at her. Is that demonic? Oh, come on, guys. Is that satanic? That's an appeal to emotion, to shut off your brain from thinking things through. And the next question would be, well, okay, let's do some more emotional appeal. How about take the little girl dressed as a butterfly walking at night, and there being vampires and demons and devils next to her, and let's take a snapshot of that, put that picture on the screen. Like, let's think through these things. All right. And then if you continue on down the list of fallacies, these are, and logic is important because God created logic and we are to reason. In 1 Corinthians 13, it says, when I was a child, I reasoned as a child. But when I became a man, I put the childish ways away from me. So as growing Christians, we should be reasoning as growing Christians. And another fallacy that is listed, though, you need to know, is appeal to God. That is listed as a fallacy. Appeal to God. And it specifically refers to the Bible. So it's saying if you appeal to God, if you appeal to the Bible as your ultimate source of authority, that is considered a logical fallacy. So when someone starts throwing around logical fallacies, we need to remember that that is listed as a logical fallacy. Because someone has an ultimate authority. And clearly, the list that I came across, which seemed like a fairly credible list, the person that put, whoever has determined what logical fallacies are, is a man. And so this man said, you know what, I'm the ultimate authority, not God. And so an appeal to God, an appeal to the Bible, well, that's a logical fallacy. And so I'm going to coin a term. You've heard it here first today. I'm going to coin a term. I don't know if it's new or not. But I thought, well, this is the fallacy of fallacies. The fallacy of trusting in man-made logical fallacies. Now, there are logical fallacies we don't want to be caught in. But we need to understand there are fallacies we need to reject. We need to reject the fallacy, the logical fallacy, the man-made logical fallacy that says this is an appeal to God. And we may need to reject the fallacy that says origins don't matter. Because if the Bible speaks to the origins, if the Bible says origins matter, well, then it matters. And if the Bible says we shouldn't be involved in something, then it matters. And if the Bible says it's okay to be involved in something, then we know that it's okay to. Just to give you a thinking exercise before we move on. That's if you enjoy, you've watched some other videos, you want to read up on it, that's the kind of thing that other people are saying. And I just think it's wrong. I just think you can't throw out origins as if it doesn't matter. All of that to say, what about Halloween today? Is it different, right? People don't think they're communing with the dead. They don't. This isn't a celebration of death now, is it? Even if it had demonic origins, how do people view it today? The clip that you just watched came from an episode entitled, "Should Christians Celebrate Halloween? A Christian Response to Halloween. It should be on your screen right now. I'd encourage you to take a watch. It is a deep dive analysis regarding the topic. I deal with the origin, how Halloween is viewed today, both by secular culture and Christian culture. Dive into biblical teaching regarding this holiday. Give some practical advice to help you and your family make wise decisions, and answer the questions I posed at the beginning, and last, leave you with the best takeaways that I can provide so that you can walk your Christian walk this October 31st to the glory of God. I'd encourage you to take a watch right now. God bless.